Welcome to the AI for Technical Writers podcast. This is episode 95.
Hello, I'm Daphne, and today, well, we're looking a bit deeper than the algorithms.
Right, beyond the models themselves, I'm Fred.
We're focusing on the sheer physical infrastructure needed, the stuff required to actually run these large models at scale.
Exactly. If you, as a technical writer, rely on generative AI, maybe for summarization, drafting, even code documentation, then you're really relying on this gigantic physical backbone. So today, we're getting into the massive acceleration we're seeing in building these data centers, the ones that power the LLMs we're all starting to use, well, pretty much every day now.
And this whole topic, looking at the foundational layer of AI, it was actually flagged for us by our producer, Kurt Robbins. He's a senior technical writer himself.
Oh, good suggestion from Kurt.
Yeah, he pointed us to a really timely announcement. It's titled, OpenAI, Oracle and SoftBank expands Stargate with 5 new AI data center sites. It was published by OpenAI just recently, September 23rd, 2025.
Okay, OpenAI, Oracle, SoftBank. Big names. But let's connect the dots. Why does building more data centers in, say, Texas or Ohio really matter to someone writing API docs?
Well, it matters hugely because the scale of this commitment, it's just staggering. And that scale dictates capability. This immense and frankly very rapid investment, it directly influences the speed, the cost, and ultimately the availability of the really advanced AI models. We're talking about things like the next iterations, maybe a GPT-5, which gets mentioned in the sources, the kind of models technical writers will need for really complex, large-scale tasks.
So without this massive compute power being built out.
Exactly. If that underlying capacity isn't there, the most sophisticated real-time documentation features like instant complex summaries or generating massive amounts of content on the fly, they just won't be possible, or they'd be incredibly slow or expensive.
Got it. Okay, let's unpack the core platform name here. Stargate. What is that exactly?
So Stargate is basically the umbrella name for OpenAI's huge AI infrastructure initiative. It's not just OpenAI, though. It's built through these crucial partnerships with industry giants like Oracle and SoftBank.
And the original goal, when they announced this?
Back in January, the initial commitment was, well, mind-blowing. $500 billion. That's $500 billion and 10 gigawatts of power capacity.
10 gigawatts. Can you put that into perspective for us? How much power is that, really?
It's enormous. Think about roughly the sustained peak energy output of 10 average nuclear power plants.
Wow. Okay.
It's essentially an entire power grid being designed specifically to handle the massive compute demands of training these next-gen AI models.
And the article we're looking at suggests they're not just on track, but maybe even ahead.
That's the really interesting nugget, yes. The expansion discussed in this announcement puts the partners demonstrably ahead of schedule.
Ahead of schedule on a $500 billion project. That's unusual.
It is. The source material makes it pretty clear they're on a solid path to securing that full commitment, the $500 billion and 10 GW, by the end of 2025. Right now, with these new sites confirmed, they have got nearly 7 gigawatts of planned capacity locked in and over $400 billion in investment committed over just the next 3 years.
So the demand is clearly justifying this rapid build-out.
Absolutely. It fundamentally validates just how overwhelming the demand for this level of compute already is and what they anticipate it will be.
That kind of logistical effort, picking the sites, it must be incredibly complex. They can't just drop these things anywhere, can they?
Oh, not at all. The article actually highlights a really rigorous selection process. They apparently reviewed over 300 proposals.
300?
Yes, from more than 30 states, just to lock down this first set of sites.
So what are they looking for? Just cheap land?
It's way more than that. It's about access to massive amounts of sustained, reliable power, preferably clean power. It's about fiber optic connectivity, robust cooling solutions, all the critical factors for running this kind of AI hardware efficiently and continuously.
Makes sense. Okay, let's zoom in on one of the partners. Oracle. Their part seems huge.
It is. The Oracle partnership is enormous. The agreement is designed to develop up to 4.5 gigawatts of additional Stargate capacity, just that piece.
4.5 gigawatts.
Yeah, and that partnership alone represents an investment topping $300 billion over the next 5 years.
So Oracle's focus is really on delivering that foundational capacity. Where are these Oracle sites going up?
They're developing 3 new data center locations mentioned specifically. One is in Shackleford County, Texas. Another is in Doña Ana County, New Mexico. And there's a third forthcoming site expected to be announced soon, somewhere in the Midwest.
And wasn't there also an expansion mentioned near an existing site?
Yes. Exactly. A significant expansion, another 600 megawatts, planned near their flagship Abilene, Texas site, which is already up and running.
Okay, so these buildings, these shells, are going up, but what's actually inside them? What's the tech that directly impacts the performance of the AI tools we might use?
Ah, well, that's the critical part, isn't it? It's the next generation technology. That flagship Abilene site, for example, is already operational and running on Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI provides that highly specialized, high-performance environment needed for AI, and crucially, the source confirms that Oracle started delivering the first NVIDIA GB200 racks back in June.
The DB200. I recognize that name. That's NVIDIA's latest and greatest for AI, right?
Exactly. It's the next generation AI architecture built specifically for these huge models. And the article says early training and inference workloads have already begun on those systems.
Okay, why is that specific hardware detail, the GB200, so important for, say, a technical writer listening right now?
Because it's basically the difference between waiting minutes for an AI task and getting an almost instantaneous response. The GB200 is designed, yes, for the enormous training workloads. That's the heavy lifting that builds models like a potential GPT-5. But maybe more relevant for your daily use, it enables lightning-fast inferencing.
Inferencing being
Yeah.
when you actually use the model.
Precisely. Inferencing is when you, the technical writer, ask the AI to do something useful. Summarize that 300-page manual now, generate those code snippets instantly, or maybe localize 10 pages of content in real time. This infrastructure, packed with things like the GB200, is what secures that critical real-time capability at a massive scale.
The source also touched on the economic side, jobs, and so on.
It did. It mentioned over 25,000 expected on-site jobs, plus potentially tens of thousands more across the U.S. supply chain.
And for our audience, that's not just a nice number, is it? It signals something more.
Right. It confirms these aren't temporary projects. These are permanent, large-scale, long-term commitments. That kind of investment secures the stability of the AI supply chain that, frankly, technical writers are increasingly relying on.
So the tools won't just disappear or suddenly become slow because the back end wasn't built out.
Exactly. And Clay Magork, Oracle's CEO, is quoted confirming this focus. He emphasized that OCI is being scaled up at an, quote, unrivaled pace, specifically to deliver the most performant and cost-effective AI training and inferencing.
Cost-effective is key there.
Absolutely key. It means the highly complex documentation tasks we're all hoping to automate won't suddenly become prohibitively expensive to run day to day. That efficiency is built in.
Okay, this is fascinating stuff. Let's take a brief break for a special message from our producer, Kurt Robbins.
Hi, this is Kurt Robbins. First, thanks for listening. I truly appreciate your support. I want to let you know that I'm currently accepting new clients. My rates are affordable, and I have more than 25 years of experience working for enterprise companies like Microsoft, Northrop Grumman, Oracle, PNC Bank, FedEx, USAA, and Wells Fargo, among many others. If you want to improve your IT documentation and communications, hire me. I deliver fast, know how to use AI to improve efficiency and accuracy, and love going the extra mile to satisfy my clients. Thank you for subscribing and listening. Back to you, Daphne and Fred.
Welcome back to the AI for Technical Writers podcast.
Right. Before the break, we were really digging into the scale and the specific tech being deployed through the huge Oracle partnership within Stargate. Now, let's pivot a bit to the other major partner mentioned, SoftBank. Their role seems slightly different.
Yes, that's a good way to put it. SoftBank's strategic involvement seems very focused on aggressive speed and deployment efficiency, getting compute online quickly.
Okay, speed and efficiency. How does that translate?
Well, SoftBank is contributing 2 new sites. Scaling initially to 1.5 gigawatts over just the next 18 months, that's fast. And there's potential mention for them to scale significantly beyond that, maybe to multiple gigawatts down the line.
So if Oracle is laying down the massive sort of permanent backbone.
SoftBank seems focused on fast, optimized compute capacity, getting the next wave of models, or perhaps specialized models, operational very quickly.
So their deployment focus is really about enabling faster availability of the compute power and maybe better cost efficiency through, innovative design.
Precisely that. Getting the necessary GPUs and infrastructure to the end users, the developers, the AI models themselves, much more rapidly.
How are they doing that?
It seems they're leveraging specific energy expertise and maybe different data center architectures to really minimize the build time. We see hints of this in the site specifics mentioned. For instance, SoftBank has already broken ground in Lordstown, Ohio. They're using advanced data center design there, and it's expected to be operational as soon as next year.
Next year is very quick for this scale.
Yeah.
And the second SoftBank site.
That one's in Milam County, Texas. It's being developed in partnership with SB Energy, which is actually a SoftBank group company itself. SB Energy is providing the powered infrastructure, again, seemingly optimized for a fast-build data center site. This kind of integrated partnership model really seems designed to accelerate the whole timeline considerably.
Makes sense. The article quotes Masayoshi Son, SoftBank's chairman and CEO.
Yes, and his quote summarizes their goal quite well, I think. He said Stargate is harnessing SoftBank's innovative data center design and energy expertise specifically to deliver the scalable compute that powers AI's future.
Scalable compute. So maybe designing the buildings themselves to be more modular. Easier to slot in new racks of GPUs as they become available.
That seems likely. It's about minimizing deployment friction. This continuous, scalable rollout helps ensure the development of, say, GPT-5, or maybe the more specialized AI models that technical documentation might require, doesn't get stalled just waiting for traditional, slow construction timelines to finish.
Right. You need the hardware ready when the software is ready.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's synthesize all this. We've got Oracle providing massive foundational capacity, SoftBank focusing on speed and scalability, this incredibly rapid, large-scale construction. It feels like it's about more than just meeting current demand.
I think that's right. It clearly goes beyond just supporting today's models. It really seems geared towards unlocking what Sam Altman, OpenAI's CEO, was quoted as calling future breakthroughs.
What was his point exactly?
He basically noted that AI can only fulfill its immense promise if the compute exists to power it, and that building this compute infrastructure is the key to ensuring eventually everyone can benefit from what AI can do.
So this capacity building, these billions of dollars in gigawatts of power, it's the physical manifestation of that future promise.
It really is. And, in synthesizing this news, we also need to touch on the political context that's mentioned in the source material. We should report that impartially.
Yes, absolutely essential.
Yeah.
Just state what the article says. It mentioned the initial announcement, right?
It did. The article notes that the initial $500 billion Stargate commitment was announced back in January at the White House alongside President Trump.
Okay.
And the article explicitly states that this whole effort has advanced more quickly than originally expected. It goes on to note this was, quote, thanks to President Trump's leadership and the policies of his administration, which it says helped attract additional partners and build momentum.
Right. So we're just relaying the information and the attribution as it appears directly in the OpenAI source material itself.
Exactly. No commentary, just reporting what's written there.
Okay, so setting aside the politics, the really crucial point here for you, the listener, the technical writer, seems to be the validation this represents.
I think so. This intense, clearly coordinated infrastructure boom confirms that the entire industry is banking on massive future compute needs. They wouldn't spend $400 billion plus otherwise.
So the next generation of AI tools, the ones you'll hopefully use for really complex real-time synthesis or instant global localization of content, advanced document modeling, the power source for those tools is already being built and funded.
Right. The investment basically secures the future AI capacity that our profession is going to need. It's becoming foundational.
So given that hundreds of billions are committed and 7 gigawatts are already planned,
the question for technical writers shouldn't really be, will the compute power be there when we need it? I mean, this level of investment practically guarantees the infrastructure will exist. The real question, I think, shifts to, are you actively preparing your documentation workflows? Are you thinking about how to leverage the speed and complexity that this kind of secured, maybe GPT-5 level capacity will actually enable?
That's a great point. This Stargate expansion, it's the physical engine driving the AI innovation that's going to impact every technical writer. Whether you're generating code comments or managing a vast multilingual content pipeline, the foundation is being laid and it's solid.
So maybe the final thought is this. Technical writers should probably be actively researching and even prototyping now. How will this real-time high-fidelity inferencing, which is now basically secured by this infrastructure build-out, allow you to eliminate manual steps? Think about localization, content auditing, maybe knowledge-based retrieval. It could fundamentally change how documentation teams operate day to day. The power will be there.
Thank you for listening to the AI for Technical Writers podcast, where we help you get smarter than your competition. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, and share. We'll see you next week.